I mean, we read the report. That's pretty much what was in the report. What I think is interesting that they didn't include in the report was that Ethan was often in the kitchen making noise, and so that she didn't think anything of it. She did hear a bang, but she thought it was Ethan. I would love to have his calls to his mother in jail. Yeah. I mean, I think considering the amount of shock she's in, I think she remembered a pretty impressive amount of details. I'm trying to think. She did say that she saw Ethan and Xana on the couch at the Sigma Chi party. If anybody wants to come up, you can just request. Do they have to legally release all this? No, I think someone FOIA'd it. Do we know when Xana and Ethan got home? I don't think we do. I think that Dylan said, oh my God, my cat. I think one of the documents said that Dylan saw Xana's bedroom door open, and Xana didn't typically keep her door open, so she didn't know if they were home. Does anybody remember? Hey, Kelsey, how are you?
Look at me. Good, how are you? I know, you're so fancy. I think when they were in Kaylee's room doing that, like, girl chat.
Did you cut out?
Did my phone freak out for a second?
Yeah. Yep.
Ah, okay. I think what happened is the girls were upstairs chatting, and Ethan and Xana must have got home then and went into Xana's room, and then she doesn't know when they got home. So it must have been between that 2:30 time frame of when they were all having girl talk. And then by then, Bethany went to the basement and had no reason. And maybe the door was shut. Maybe, like, that's the only logical thing that I can think of.
Yeah, that's what I assumed as well. I assumed that Xana and Ethan came home while they were all upstairs in Kaylee's room. And something that her parents said was that Kaylee never slept without her dog. Just want to throw that out there. They said Kaylee never slept without her dog. But anyway.
Did I mishear? But did she say that Maddie was also at Sigma Chi?
I believe so. Someone else said that.
Yeah, so that's new information, I think, that we didn't hear before. So then I'm curious, like, where Kaylee was when Maddie was at Sigma Chi. Because we know whether they went to the corner club, but we never got a time of when they went to the corner club.
I think we did, though, because when they interviewed Jack Showalter in, I think, the Moscow documents, he talks about, because they arrived at the corner club, maybe they might not be like an exact time, but they arrived with another woman, another girl. I don't know if they said the time, but they may have. I think it's interesting, we're just hearing today, and we don't know if this is accurate, that Kaylee was changing her mind about going to Texas. That's no too.
Yeah, that was new. I saw a lot of people in the comments saying that. So, but again, these are girls in their 20s. They're not giving everyone every detail about their life. Right. So she could have said it in passing, like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to go to Texas, when clearly she probably already signed a lease and was going to go, but just talking out of her, know what, like, they're young girls where she's probably like, maybe I won't go. But, like, we all knew she was going to go. Like, because why wouldn't her parents mention that? Like, her parents had been very vocal this entire time. Like, if she wasn't going to go to Texas, I feel like they would have maybe said something.
Here's the thing. In one of the documents, they said that Kaylee considered Maddie her closest, like, family member. I don't know what the deal is there. Like, there are some comments made where I think it's possible that Kaylee might not have said that, like, told her parents, right? Sure. And that doesn't mean anything negative. She's just, like, she's getting to that age where, like, she's developing her own independence and she doesn't have to, like, check with her parents about everything.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just super close to my parents, so my parents would know if I'm not moving to Texas, because Texas is far from Idaho. It's not like around the corner.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And
I thought that's why she went there that weekend, because this was, like, her last weekend to say goodbye as well.
See, I thought that as well. I personally don't think she was as close to them as they make it seem. I agree with that.
I would love your thoughts on the interview that the Gonzalez's did with Nancy Grace last night.
And I was going to make a video about it, because the one thing that Nancy Grace said We were told that they DIED'd in their sleep, and that's not true. And I'm like, we were never really told that. Like, once that PCA came out, we knew that at least Kaylee and Xana were probably up. Xana for sure, and possibly Kaylee. So we knew that they were up, and we knew Xana was found on the floor. The only two I think we knew were asleep when we were attacked, and I think that's what Nancy Grace means, that they were asleep when they were attacked. But that's not accurate. Like, we kind of had the idea, we kind of were led to believe at least two of them, or even three of them, were up. Hold on. Oh, what up, huh? What'd you make of that body?
I had to leave because the sound was so terrible. It was messing with me. So I couldn't stay.
Yeah, I get that.
So I didn't see it yet.
She said that she heard like a loud bang,
Mm-hmm.
and she felt it was like a sparkler. She
Yep.
saw like a sparkler. But then she said, and this wasn't in the reports, she's like, I just thought it was Ethan because he would always be really loud in the kitchen.
Okay. In the kitchen, but she said it was under her door, didn't she?
No. The bang when she woke
the
up.
bang. Okay, gotcha.
Talking in general, like the noise.
And she did say she heard Murphy bark, which I think is a little bit newer information.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we heard her ever say, like, oh, I also heard the dog bark.
Yeah.
Right. I'll have to watch it later. I'll have to watch it like by myself, you know what I mean? And like
it's a little hard. It's hard because it's so redacted. Like, you know what I mean? It's like every other word is like blurred out because of an address or a name. So some of the translation is a little bit hard to fully understand the context of the conversation.
Once you get through the first like 10 minutes, they do redact some, but not as much. The beginning is a lot of redactions because they're like, what's your phone number? What's your password? Da 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 da. And somebody was saying, why did they redact something when they were talking at the frat party? More than likely, they were saying names, and it's one thing in writing to be able to redact, right? It's a lot easier to just put that little black bar. But as somebody who like edits podcasts, it's a lot more difficult to edit like a sound. So they probably just played it safe and edited like the sentence.
Yep.
Is it possible Ethan and Xana got home between 3 and 4? I think anything's possible, don't you? But I mean, I 3 and 4. Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it would go against the witness statements, right? But I mean, it's still possible. Everyone was drunk and messed up. You know, the times could be wrong. Sure.
Yeah. We know.
I mean, the DoorDash order arrived at 4. So yeah, I mean, it was like what, 3:59 or something like that. So yeah,
you know what
I think
time
that's
she placed the order again though, because it took like an hour.
It took a while because the DoorDash driver got lost, right? Like and that's because of King Road being what it is, right? Like that's not
Queen
really
Road. It's King Road.
right.
And it's like I live in Baltimore, and there's a street called Luzerne and a street called Lakewood, and they mix our streets up all the time. And it's like on the wrong street. So like I can totally see that happening. Yeah. But I would just be curious to know like when the order was placed and how long it took. Because if they did leave Sigma Chi later, maybe she did place it while she was still at Sigma Chi and like, you know, planned it out accordingly. You know, I've done that where I'm like, I'm hungry, I'm drunk. Like, let me order food before I leave the bar, and the McDonald's will be home by the time I get home.
Right. That's actually smart. Oh my God. Thank you. That was so kind. You don't have to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I wonder if Bethany initially assumed they were unalived with a pew-pew and her head was convinced it here.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, you know, remember, didn't Gonsalves's niece report to them that Kaylee was shot initially?
Yes.
So maybe that's actually really good and interesting idea. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That could be, yeah.
That could explain where the thought that it was a shooting came from. Because just like Dylan's out there telling the story, Bethany might have been doing the same thing. And once you have like that circle of people, you know, people are going to start to talk at that point. That's just normal. So yeah, that could have been where it came from.
Like the bang, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
I think it was the cups.
No,
I,
the bang is like, I think that thud we hear.
yeah, I think it's Xana, possibly.
Yeah.
And like maybe the end table moving, hitting the wall, something.
Don't go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know, the end table in Xana's room, how it's like cattywampus.
Bumpus?
Yeah, it's like crooked. It
crooked.
looks like someone, you get a little drunk and you bump into something, but in this case, you're not drunk. But it's like,
Right. And we know that she grabbed, or we think from the blood on the end table that she was in contact with it, right? Because it's smeared. So like either she like kind of grabbed it, her arm was on it, something, and that might have hit the wall, maybe,
Actually,
or like
Bethany, did I mishear this? Bethany did say she thought she heard somebody bump into like a table or something.
yeah,
the ping pong or the beer pong table.
Yeah, she did say and even like noises are distorted when you're in pitch black. So
Sure.
like maybe it was the table and it was the legs that like the way they vibrated against the floor.
The floor.
Like, especially those types of folding tables, they have a very weird sound. I don't know why it is when they move, but maybe it vibrated the floor and that's what
100%. That's what I thought initially.
But you couldn't have moved far though, because the cups were still very much intact.
Yeah. Ashley, what are you doing?
What's happening? Ash. Hold on. Let me see. Do you think Bethany distancing herself from the case is weird, as Dylan has been vocal? I don't think it's weird at all. I think her parents and probably a lawyer said, you aren't going to talk about this. You're like, this is the only way to distance yourself from it. And, Dylan's been vocal because Dylan has been such a heavy focus of the reports and the documents. So,
and to be fair too, I don't really think that Dylan's been very vocal at all.
Yeah, I don't.
The only thing that she's done is speak at the victim impact statement.
Yeah.
Right. And then her like mom's friend or aunt did the GoFundMe.
Yeah, she's not doing datelines and all this.
I haven't really heard from
interviews
specifically. Right.
And she's raising money. Well, her aunts are doing it.
Yeah.
And I think people, she needs security. She needs therapy. She needs to relocate. I think people are underestimating. Let's remember that Bethany said in her impact statement, people were calling her house. They were calling her family. This is a very...
People are doing too much.
People are doing too much, and it's dangerous.
And I can speak on that very confidently, actually. You're doing too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've kind of been through that. You've kind of been through it. Yeah, the spark. She said she thought she saw a spark.
I'm like very hung up on this spark thing. Like, do you think, is it like someone like opened and shut her door real fast? Or
she said it was locked. Didn't she say her door was locked in the reports?
I think they locked it after. Dylan went down. But like, if you see a flash of light, maybe someone opened and shut the door real fast is the only thing I can think of, but we don't know who or what or when or why or any.
Here's the thing. So if she heard it when she heard the bang, right? Then the only person it could be is Koberger, and I don't believe he went down there.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You know what I mean? So I don't think.
She also did have a migraine.
Please, phone is.
It's mine. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It could be a migraine thing where like you close your eyes real fast and you see like a flash of light. So it could be her brain just playing tricks on her. Again, the dark is not your friend.
Yeah. So there's no mention of any light bulb. There's no mention of any smashing down there. Even in the pictures, there's nothing. I did think I saw a light bulb on the stairs, but it turned out to be a Fireball bottle.
Do you think that when...
That's Lutz.
That's me.
Do you think when Xana hit the floor that... I mean, it's an old house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the downstairs light flickered?
Like if the bulb wasn't screwed in tight enough?
Yeah.
Or if it just like messed with the wiring.
That could be. That's an actually really interesting thought.
When a bulb burns out, it does have that very quick, like, type of noise. It's very, very subtle. That could have been it.
Mhm. I
I just
wondered
don't know
that
if you
too.
would see that under a door though. Like it would have to be, especially like now this is just me getting like a little OCD. Like how big of a crack is under that door? like how close to the floor is the door and the crack?
And isn't Bethany's room under the living room?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't
I'm
know.
just saying, like, you know how, like, I mean, I live in a townhouse. If my neighbor plays music really loud, the shit on my wall will vibrate,
Mhm.
off. So, like, the thud, and then see, like, if she heard the thud and then looked at the door, like, was that somebody trying to get my door? And then saw the flash underneath, like, was it just like the amount of force on that ceiling? If it just made that light bulb either go out or flicker. Like it was around the same time, so that's why I'm thinking that, oh my gosh, 6 o'clock is not the time to be calling me. It had to have been around that time if she's thinking like, oh, it must be Ethan in the kitchen. You know what I mean? It had to have been around the same time that she heard this and then saw the flash.
The other thing that doesn't make sense to me is why did Maddie come knock on her door about Murphy?
Oh,
Because
saying that she
isn't
couldn't find
Murphy
him.
always on a leash? So
Yeah.
this is why I'm very confused on that front because Murphy was
Well-
never not allowed outside without a leash. And so
Yeah,
if they
see.
both go ahead.
And we can see the leash under Maddie's bed, the green leash.
Also,
And also,
if they couldn't find him, so what'd they do? Leave the slider
Call
door.
Jack.
Call Jack, but leave the slider door open so he could get back in case he was outside.
Or maybe Maddie was just so drunk that she didn't bring him out
Yeah.
on a leash and like was like, he'll just go pee real fast. Like
I've done
it's
that
cold
before.
out.
Yeah.
It's cold. Like, come on, Murph, just go potty. And then maybe Koberger was in the bushes and had treats and lured him out. And then
I don't.
these are all speculations. We're all going to
Of
speculate
course.
until
Of course.
we're blue in the face because we're never going to get the answers we want. But it's the dog thing
I
is
think-
throwing me off.
I think Koberger opened the slider. He left it open, but I think he opened it. I don't think it was left open, but I don't have any reason to think that. You know what I mean? I
Well,
don't have any
it's
reason.
also like, why would Murphy go back downstairs? It's just like, why would the dog go back downstairs if if Maddie brought him in? Like, why would he then go back down the stairs out the slider door on his own?
Mhm.
Because he
Chelsea-
seemed like a. Go ahead.
No, you finish. I thought you were done. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Ashley.
I was just gonna say, I think I have been saying, like, I agree with you. I think that he had treats with him, or because he knew there was a dog there, because he had been used to look like stalking the place from outside. I really do think he had treats, and he.
Or a ball or a toy or something.
Right.
Because Murphy was under the desk hiding.
Wait, I just thought of something though.
He
But
was
then,
on the
like,
bed. He was on the bed initially. He didn't go under the desk until after the cops arrived.
I just thought of something though. How would
They
he be
found him on the
there?
bed.
How would BK be there to give treats to Murphy out in the bushes when we saw him like arrive?
I don't think Koberger was in the bushes. I think Murphy was unexpected. And I think Murphy is probably the reason he got the hell out of there as quickly as he could, because I think he was overstimulated by the barking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
100%. He took. That's
I
why
used to
he
think that.
took off. He took like. This is why
Well,
people.
that's probably part of his autism. Like the
Yeah. 100%. Like your phone just now, Ray, I'm autistic. Your phone is like triggering. And I'm not, please don't think I'm saying shit about you. I'm not. That's why I'm
I'm
like, whose
not.
phone is that? Like, it drives me crazy, those kinds of noises. Like, I had to leave the live earlier because of the interview noise. Like, it was so terrible. I had to get the fuck out. I was like, I gotta go.
Yep.
Noise is a massive sensory problem. Yes.